This is Isha Snehal on your very bright Sunday morning, and I'm going to talk about Step 2 CS once again. It's the part 2 of where we left off. We talked about where to take the exam and what are the most important resources for taking the exam and how to find a partner to actually study with you throughout the prep. And today I'm going to talk about what is the pattern of the exam. So let's see, Step 2 CS is actually an 8-hour long exam. It's super long because you actually have to talk to a lot of people and you have to type in the notes, so it's a little draining. So keep your foodstuffs ready for the whole marathon. So Step 2 CS has 12 patient encounters, and for every 3 patient encounters you get a 10-minute break. So there's a first 10-minute break, after 3, then after 6 a 30-minute break, and after 3 again you have a 10-minute break. So break time is kind of sufficient. Just carry a lot of foodstuffs like apples, and don't carry heavy food because then you'll become sleepy. You have to type in your notes really fast, so you have to actually be alert all the time. And another thing that happens in the exam is that you kind of fall short of time when you're doing history physical and when you're typing the notes. So for note typing, keep practicing from the very first day of your prep. Take like a month's time to practice typing all of your notes in 10 minutes, or in fact I would say do like an 8-minute timer and try to finish your notes in that timer, and then you will definitely finish in 10 minutes. The next thing that happens is for longer cases like loss of consciousness cases, or something that involves a neurological exam, the whole case becomes long because of the physical exam. So you need to be very specific in terms of physical exam to finish the case on time. You just get 15 minutes for history and physical exam. You just need to ask the most important history and the most important physical exam, so that the patients, that is the standard patients, can actually tick mark their boxes once you leave the room. Yes, the patients actually tick mark your behavior, your empathy skills, and how you were in terms of pressure taking, or understanding the patient's language, and how you were as a doctor overall. They're actually going to mark you on a sheet of paper or like on the computer once you leave the room. So those things are important to keep in mind, and you kind of have to practice all of that during your prep time with your partner. Important things which I would almost forget in most of the cases was taking the patient's social history and counseling them, because this is important to close the case. Okay, so once you're done with the main history and physical exam, ask them, have you spoken or have you done alcohol before, or have you had any addictions in the past? And then the patient will actually come up with something, and you have to counsel them on that. And you need to give the patient at least 2 differential diagnoses that you have in your mind, and also tell them what you're going to do afterwards. So these are the 4 things that you have to do before you exit the room. And a lot of people end up forgetting that and actually end up losing points on that. So if you do not do a particular physical exam, it's kind of okay, but you do need to do these 4 things at the end. Of course, like, you cannot forget doing the main physical exam of the case. For example, if it's a thyroid patient, you have to examine the neck and the leg for edema. But if it's a headache patient, you not necessarily have to examine the leg. You have to do the neuro exam, but not everything else. So do just the specific physical exam, and if you have time, then do the CVS and RESPI in short. Honestly, when there was a case which involved a big neuro exam and a full cardio exam, then I would just skip the little general appearance and all of that. I would just concentrate on the main physical exams and write only those in my notes. Also, a very important thing that a lot of people do not know about Step 2 CS is that it's divided into 3 components. First is integrated clinical encounter, which is basically scoring your notes from the history and physical exam that you did, and what the standardized patient is going to tick mark in their computer or in their forms that they get, and whether you've asked all the questions, done the most important physical exam, etc. The next section is communication and interpersonal skills. So that will include all of your social history, your counseling, whether you were able to come up with a good differential diagnosis, and if you were able to actually close the case and be a good doctor in terms of being empathetic towards the patient and being caring and being professional. So those skills are graded into that component. And the third component is spoken English. So it's important for you to have a very clear spoken English during the encounter. Make sure that you understand what the patient is speaking, and if you did not, just ask them again. And don't ask them too many times, but just ask them once and try to listen carefully and speak very clearly. And even if you're speaking slowly, it's fine, but speak clearly. So those are the three components which are individually graded, and for every single component you have to get at least 70%, and it's going to be determined on passing every encounter that you did. So guys, that was it for Step 2 CS, and if you have any questions, please feel free to post them in the comment section below or on my Instagram. The ID is isha.snehal. And I hope you liked this video, and if you did, give a big fat thumbs up and please subscribe. Thank you so much. Thanks for watching, and I'll be back with more videos on USMLE, med school, etc.